Hello YouTube. I come before you today, not as Ian Andrews, but as Ian Chapman, to tell you about what our government is trying to do next. They're coming up with a new bill. They have a new bill out called SOPA, or the Stop Online Piracy Act. What the bill pretty much says is, bill expands the ability of U.S. law enforcement and copyright holders to fight online trafficking in copyrighted intellectual property and counterfeited goods, meaning that websites like YouTube could be considered against the law if this bill passes, and the penalty of going against SOPA, if it becomes law, is 10 years in federal prison for unauthorized streaming of copyrighted content, and hosting streaming of copyrighted content a crime. So that would pretty much put the owner of YouTube in jail and pretty much every YouTuber in jail. So this is going to be one of many bills pretty much making the U.S. government control what we do in our lives. We are still Americans. This is still the U.S. of A. This is still the United States of America. Not the United States of China, not the United Soviet States, not the Nazi States of America. We are the United States of America. The president needs to remember that. The politicians need to remember that. And we need to remember we have a voice. We as Americans have a voice. We can stand up against our government. We can tell our government, hey, you're doing a lousy ass job. Get your ass out of there. We can stand up to our government. We will no longer stand in fear of our own government. Our soldiers fight a battle on terror when that battle should be fought on our own soil. Our government is trying to make us afraid and control our lives. They're trying to make what our founding fathers did for nothing. They're trying to take away our freedom. I, as an American, will not stand for that. Neither should you. I guess you can call me the true voice of the voiceless. As citizens, we have been voiceless when it comes to what our government does. No longer. We must remember that the Constitution gives us the right to fight our government, and gives us the right to tear our own government down into what we want it to be. Not what they want it to be, not what the banks want it to be, not what the movies and record companies want it to be, what we want it to be. We must once again show our power, our democratic power given to us by our founding fathers. The president and government have forgotten we have the power. We have become too complacent to use this power. Now it is time to use that power once again, people of America. Soldiers fight and die to keep peace, to keep freedom. But what would happen if our own government threw our freedom away and made the sacrifice that these soldiers made for nothing? The government is trying to destroy America. It is time to rise up against the government and tell them, no more. No more of this communist way of thinking. No more of this Nazi way of thinking. Go back to the American way of thinking. It's this communist and Nazi way of thinking that has led our nation almost to the point of ruin. People of America, it is time to stand up against the oppression that our own government is leading us to. Take your fear of the national government, turn it into anger. We will fight. We must fight SOPA and the government. Ladies and gentlemen, I leave you with our national anthem. Before I leave, you, we must rally underneath this flag. We must rally once again underneath this flag. The red, white, and blue of Old Glory. And not the red flag not the red flag or red, black swastika flag that the government is trying to rally us under. Listen to Lady Liberty's cry. My own government is betraying me. Who will help? We will help, Lady Liberty. We will help keep freedom alive and stop the oppression of the government for their own interests and for the interests of the banks and private companies that back them. People of America, I have spoken.